Hey, I'm Alex Rackle from Board Game Co. And if this looks like a completely unnecessary amount of Marvel, I mean, well, it depends how you look at it, right? It depends what you consider completely unnecessary. What defines necessity? What defines necessary? All those fun questions. Questions I'm sure we'll cover time and time again in a variety of different videos. But ultimately, how much do we really need of anything? This is getting way too philosophical way too quickly. This is going to be an unboxing of Marvel United. No review, none whatsoever. I have played the base game of Marvel United, but this is going to be all the Kickstarter extras, exclusives, everything. Basically an all-in pledge, including a playmat that, well, I'll get to the playmat shortly. So, let's go through this. Let's talk about it. Maybe I'll show the playmat or not, because it is off camera. That would necessitate getting up. I'm going to be throwing plastic on the floor. I'll be taking care of the plastic later, don't worry about that. So, Marvel United. This is going to be my free command content. Get it there. If anyone wants to scan that QR code with your thing, I mean, first come, first serve, I guess. It's over there. I don't even know if that would work. I'm sure you can get it with the overhead camera and all that. Oh boy, I forgot that I have to re-punch these tokens. Okay, that's fine. We'll punch these tokens another time. That's not going to happen today. Today is not that day. Let's talk about Marvel United. And this is going to be a rambling unboxing. If you haven't been here for a rambling unboxing before, it's where I alternate between talking about things in a way that is productive and beneficial and helps you, you know, I don't know if it helps you, but it talks about the game, versus when I alternate from that, going to just talking about whatever. And whatever in this case can very much vary, because whatever in this case is going to be the fact that, first of all, we do have Marvel United X-Men, or Marvel X-Men United, whatever they want to call it, coming to, well, coming somewhere, you know, soon, basically. Let's go ahead and show you some of these. Let's get that focusing in there. So we got some, I'm not going to show you every single one of these, because there are a whole lot of these characters. In fact, I may not bother showing you more than this from the core box, because, let me show, I'm going to orient these correctly, don't worry. Because the truth is, you've probably seen all these already. These are all the core box Marvel United. We have some cool stuff. We have Thanos. No, we don't have Thanos, but we have whatever this guy's name is, Ultron. Ultron's definitely his name. I keep rotating the character on you. See, I'm trying to be conscious of which way you're facing, and forgetting that you're facing my way. So, that's going to be what's going on here. Now, that's basically it. That's the core box. We're going to talk about the core box, all of that. But Marvel United X-Men, Marvel X-Men United, or some such title, is coming shortly. And the short answer, before we even talk about anything else, you absolutely do not need it. It's not even a question. You simply do not need it. Like, it's not a debatable thing. I mean, I guess it is debatable. Everything's debatable. But you don't need Marvel United X-Men. You don't need this, barely. The question you want to ask yourself as you're looking through the Marvel United X-Men Kickstarter, and I'll cover this in a video, of course, is what mechanics did they add? What did they add to the game that made it mechanically different? Because one of my pet peeves about Marvel United, and one of the things that makes me very, very sad about this game that I do otherwise enjoy, is that the characters don't feel different. I have the coolest selection of Marvel characters I have ever had from any game, and a rulebook that I didn't put back in the box. The coolest selection of Marvel characters from any game that I've ever had. Chibi miniatures that I love. I'm one of those people who do enjoy the chibi miniatures. I got rid of Arcadia Quest despite the cool minis, not because of the cool minis. I enjoy and appreciate that type of artwork or style or whatnot. But that's immaterial to the fact that these characters don't feel different. Sadly, they feel the same. They have decks that, you know, they have no character ability, so it basically comes down to the deck that they're playing. And this is a cooperative game, if you don't know. The Loki expansion will add a trader mechanic to the game, but effectively you have all these characters, and they have a deck of like 12 cards or something like that, maybe less. I don't remember exactly how many cards are per character. And those cards have minuscule differences. Maybe we'll go through some in this character sheet. But they do all have a slight gameplay difference to the expansions in the actual game. So, this is going to be the Vastness, the Guardians of the Galaxy Remix pack. And this is going to give you the following. The Plan B challenge gives heroes another way of winning the game. Instead of defeating the villain directly, they can focus their efforts on completing unorthodox missions that are more challenging than usual, which then lead them straight to victory. During setup, instead of using the 3 mission cards in the core box, use the 3 Plan B mission cards contained in this expansion. The Plan B mission cards are completed in the same way as normal missions, however they have more slots that need to be filled before they're considered completed. Heroes can win as usual by defeating the villain, but they can also win immediately by completing all 3 Plan B missions. So that's intriguing. It's a gameplay difference. I don't know if it's better or worse, because effectively they're giving you another way to win, which could make the game easier, almost by definition. And we have over here the expansion for Guardians of the Galaxy. Again, the absolute coolest characters. Now, the villains do mix things up. The villains actually do manage to feel different. In fact, even the locations manage to feel different. In fact, let's just go ahead and start going through all this stuff over here. And we have the Milano, which is going to be, what's his name's ship or whatnot. End of turn, you may move to any other location. That's helpful. We have the Nowhere. You may discard 1 action token to gain 2 action tokens of your choice between those 3 types of actions. We have Xandar. Xandar, I love Xandar. End of turn, you may draw cards until you have 3 in your hand. That could be useful. Morag, you may gain a wild token. Collector's Museum, you may discard 1 action card to draw a card. Kiln, you may discard 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck, place 1 token from the pool on any threat card, and then back to the beginning. Now, in general, with these expansions, you can always mix up these locations to, have these specific locations and have a themed Guardians of the Galaxy game, or you can just, take any combination of locations. And then we have the Ronin. Ronin's adorable. We have Ronin. Special rules. Whenever a hero is KO'd, they get a KO token. Bam. Deal 2 damage to 1 hero in one's location. Overflow. If they can't be added to the location, deal 1 damage to 1 hero for each token that can't be added. And Villainous Plot. The heroes lose when the group has 4 KO tokens. Ooh. Intriguing. Cool. And then we're going to go over here. And we have Ronin himself. Ronin, who's going to be this amazing character over here. Look at this guy. Look at the chibi artwork. How can you not be... I mean, I'm sure there's going to be people who cannot be entertained by that, but I am not one of those people. And we have Groot. Look at Groot. Adorable miniature Groot. Who does not find that immensely entertaining? My kids have already asked to play this, and I told them I have to do an unboxing first. You see, that's the problem. The plus side is they have to play with my miniatures. The downside is I do get to pull the unboxing video first. So I told them I have to hold off. This arrived yesterday. They want to play it right away. I was like, nope, I'm doing an unboxing, and then we'll go to the Rocket Raccoon. Look at that. My kids are going to have a blast playing with these. Hopefully they don't break them. They generally they play with miniatures all the time, and the amount of breaks they have is so minimal compared to the amount they play them. Then we have, what's her name? What's her name? Whose character? I can't remember her name, but you know who she is. She's the semi, like, what is her name? I can't remember her name. The 2 daughters of Thanos. We have... I'm blanking on this. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. Either way, that's going to be that over there, and we're going to box that up because, by the way, just for the record, once I decide for certain that I'm keeping everything, which I haven't, just to be clear, I enjoy Marvel United. I do. I think Marvel United is a fun game, but I also, the base game I don't think is good enough. The expansions add more to the mix, and those expansions are why I want to, well, keep this game. So, depending on when I decide if I'm keeping this game, that is when I will basically consolidate it all into as few boxes as possible. This big one over here is going to be helpful for that. And I'm not going to worry about it, because that is just how I keep my games. The amount of work and effort to try to store all these in the shelf when they could all fit in here when you get rid of the inserts and just bag up the minis, it's not worth it. So, we have over here, the Rise of the Black Panther. And that's going to be Rise of the Black Panther. Welcome to Wakanda. This expansion has 3 new proud heroes, a deadly villain, new locations, and a new Endangered Locations challenge. Sounds interesting. These can be either used in isolation to create a genuine Wakandan experience, or mixed with other heroes, villains, locations, and challenges from the core box and other expansions to create infinite different play experiences. Near infinite was the word you were looking for. Come on. Near infinite. As long as you have a finite number, it's not going to be infinite. I am so pedantic, it's unbelievable. I know exactly where Ricky gets it from. So, creates a bond. Endangered Locations challenge creates a bond between each hero and a specific location. They must make sure the location remains under control or risk being KO'd. Ooh. That sounds intriguing. Doing setup, each location is given a pair of matching endangered location tokens. Each player selects a different location, places one of the tokens there, keeping the other next to the hero track. Whenever the villain should place a token on a location that has an endangered location, but the location is full, the hero with the corresponding endangered location token takes 1 damage. So again, mixed up the experience in some different way. We got endangered locations. That works. Again, I like that. See, that's more of a challenge as opposed to the other one, which gives us another way to win. This gives you another way to lose. So we have this person over here, who I assume this is what's his name. I'm terrible with these names, by the way. What is the main Wakandan villain? His name. The one who fights Black Panther. I can't remember his name, nor is this focusing. Let's go ahead and move that out of the way. There we go. Yeah. That's the guy. I'm sure his card, in fact, I can just look over here. Killmonger. That's his name. Thank you. Thank you for the useful player aid. Killmonger. Deal 1 damage to each hero in Killmonger's location, then replace the leftmost token there if present with a crisis token. Villainous Plot, the heroes lose when 4 or more locations have 3 or more crisis tokens. Again, the heroes give you some degree of variability. We have the expansions. We have Bucky Barnes in this one, apparently. See, I don't remember all the various things that are in different locations. We have the Golden City. You may move to any other location. End of turn, you may discard 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck to remove a crisis token. End of turn, you may gain... Interesting, so I guess this has to be in play if you're playing with crisis tokens, okay. You may gain a token. You may search your deck for any 1 card, then shuffle your deck and place that card on top. Shuriki's Lab. You may draw cards until you have 3 in your hand, that's disappointing, because they have that exact card in the other expansion, just called something different, so I don't feel that's different. This goes back to my problem with this game, where the variety of the variability of the heroes is not there. It just looks like they're there. End of turn, you may do something in this location. That's helpful. Actually, that is helpful. I like that one. And then Golden City, back to the Golden City. And from there, who else do we want to go? We want to go with Ashiri. I mean, Ashiri is everyone's favorite character. Here we go. And obviously, what's his name? The Black Panther, the actor. You see, I'm doing terrible with names today. But he obviously passed away, and he will not be playing the Black Panther anymore, obviously. That was really... There's not a lot of, like, celebrities who, when they die, like, I'm bothered by, so to speak. Like, I'm not really connected to celebrities. It's a weird, dark tone for an unboxing, apparently. So if your kids are watching this Marvel United unboxing, I apologize. Sorry. But yeah, it was definitely very sad when he passed away. Chadwick Boseman, that's his name. Chadwick Boseman. Yeah, no one knew. No one knew. Completely out of the blue. I mean, not no one knew, but no one in the public, so to speak, knew. Again, apologies for the morbid tone about, what's going on here. But I warned you. This is a rambling unboxing. I don't have an agenda. I just want to talk about things. But let's go back to Marvel United X-Men. Okay, so Marvel United X-Men, hitting Kickstarter April 14th. And it will be more of this stuff. More miniatures, more extra content. To be clear, I'm getting it, just to be very clear. But I don't think you necessarily should. I think the amount of content this game has versus the amount you're going to use, if the mechanics speak to you. And the Dice Tower has a playthrough for what it's worth. I haven't actually watched the playthrough yet. Probably should do that. Or tell me more about the game. But I don't know what the game changes up. If it's just giving you more, okay. But, I mean, I'll get it. But I'm just going to roll my eyes while I get it. I'm going to pretend that I know better, even though I don't. But we'll see what it adds. Also, for those who are interested, a lot of the Marvel United, when it was on Kickstarter, had Kickstarter exclusive expansions and non-Kickstarter exclusive expansions, which means many people would sit there and they did not get the all-in. I caved because they gave me an all-in. I'm very, very easy to convince when I have an all-in. But lots of people held off on the ones that were going to retail and did not get the Kickstarter exclusive ones. And they are not going to retail in the end. Past, I think, the Sinister Six, or whichever one it is, past Enter the Spider-Verse, past one of the expansions, they're not actually hitting retail, which means Marvel said that, CMON said that in the Kickstarter, they will allow you to get those expansions in case you were holding off, hoping to get them at retail. Return of the Sinister Six. This expansion contains a set of 6 new villains that players can face individually by simply choosing one and using the basic game rules. Alternatively, players can take on the ultimate challenge of the Sinister Six mode. In this unique game mode, by the way, it hurts to read that slowly. I know I get a variety of people. Some people who want me to read slower, some people who want me to read faster. Slowing down can be painful. Let's go back to normal mode. Alternatively, players can take on the ultimate challenge of the Sinister Six mode. In this unique game mode, players face all 6 of the villains contained in this expansion at once. The villains work together, each bringing their own special effects to bear. The heroes must find the weak spots and take them out one by one until they are all vanquished. Now, this, by the way, has more rules than either of those 2 things we went through. I'm not going to read a rule book on camera. That seems unnecessarily painful, no matter how fast it goes. So we're just going to focus on this Return of the Sinister Six player board. That is also an unnecessary amount of text. Now, I'm okay with it, assuming it actually works and does a good job. But that's an intimidating amount of text that I'm just not interested in even trying to comprehend. But we do have a box full of villains. Now, remember how I said the villains are far more interesting than the heroes? That means this box is far more exciting. We have Mysterio. For everyone who watched the second Spider-Man movie and didn't know Mysterio is a villain, I just ruined it for you. Mysterio is definitely a villain. Don't trust him. He's going to betray Peter. We have Kraven. Now, Kraven's a villain too. Kraven hasn't actually shown up in any Spider-Man movies yet. We've had way too many Spider-Man movies technically, but there's been a lot of repeat action from the various characters. We have Sandman, who has been in a Spider-Man movie. We have Electro, who has been in a Spider-Man movie. We have Vulture, who's been in a Spider-Man movie. We have Dr. Octopus, who's been in a Spider-Man movie. Only one we're missing is Kraven. We want Kraven, okay? Give us Kraven in a Spider-Man movie. But before we have that, we don't need the Spider-Man movie because we instead have all these characters over here, these villains that have to be fought, the adorable little chibi miniatures. We have Sandman. We have Vulture. See, Vulture, I really resonated with Vulture. Like, Vulture as a character in the last movie, like, I mean, I felt bad for him. The guy is a hard-working guy. Government came along and took away his money, and he's just trying to fend for himself. Now Mysterio, even though they painted him to be a good guy, ultimately he was a little bit of a twisted psychopath. I mean, he's someone who just did not get enough attention as a child, and he took that trauma with him as an adult. It's very unfortunate. I mean, I guess you could feel bad for him in that sense. If anyone who doesn't get enough attention as a child, I do feel bad for. By the way, have I mentioned I'm letting my kids play with all these games? All these games. Although I don't know if the adorable Marvel chibis are a substitute for parental love. But we can work on it. We can try. And we have Electro. Now, if you watch the last Spider-Man movies, I felt bad for Electro too. He really tried. He was like someone who just, he tried being a good person. He tried helping out. He just got zapped with electricity. And Doc Ock, have you paid attention to Doc Ock? I mean, that guy, he was trying to cure science stuff. Like, just science stuff. The best science stuff. And then he got these metal things welded to his body. And they took control of his mind node or something. It's all fictional stuff, obviously. But, I mean, he tried. It's one of my favorite jokes. Like, start off that little meeting with like, by the way, if anyone lost a roll of 20s wrapped in a rubber band, we found the rubber band. We have Kraven. Kraven over here. Now, Kraven hasn't been in a movie. And I'm not enough of a comic book person. I read comics and whatnot. I read comics, read comics, but I don't remember much about Kraven. Kraven to me is a bit of a mystery as a character, so I don't know if he's someone I can sympathize with. Basically, most of these characters here, with the exception of Mysterio, who I probably should feel bad for, most of these characters I really feel bad for. Honestly, I kind of hope they win the next movie. They deserve a win. And Sinister Six, by the way, at one point there was rumblings or rumors or something of Sinister Six becoming its own video. And what was the last? We had a villain. Venom's getting his own movie. Sympathetic Venom. Well, Venom already had his own movie. Anyone else? I feel there are other characters who have been villains who've got the movies. Aside from the Disney things where we're slowly changing all the Disney, villainesses or whatever, Maleficent or whatnot, all those stories. But I like characters I can identify with. The classic, I want to destroy everything. Like, if you watch Game of Thrones, again, your children should not be watching this unboxing, to be very clear. It's the wrong target audience. I'm going to the YouTube thing. I'm not marking it safe for kids. It's all good. But, Game of Thrones, if you watch Game of Thrones had Baratheon, whatever his name was, the little psycho kid, okay, the one who was beyond insane, okay? He's not someone I can resonate with. Again, to be fair, he definitely did not get the proper parental attention. Depends which parent. Weird tangent there. But did not get the parental attention you need, so you should feel bad for him. But I can't identify with someone who has that kind of trauma going on. It's just not something that resonates with me. We'll come back to this weird conversation in a second. The Infinity Gauntlet, okay? The Infinity Gauntlet expansion. Thanos, in search of the Infinity Stones. If he collects all 6 in his gauntlets, he'll be unstoppable. That's not true. He found them, and we stopped him. Granted, we had to go to an entirely different timeline and kill a whole bunch of people along the way, but neither here nor there. The Infinity Gauntlet adds an epic game mode to Marvel United and embark on a series of up to 4 games in the struggle to first keep the children of Thanos from gathering all Infinity Stones and then battle against Thanos himself. Over the course of the first 3 games, try to defeat the children of Thanos as quickly as possible to prevent too many Infinity Stones from falling into the Master's hands, all the while sparing some effort to unlock power-ups that may be decisive in the final confrontation. This adds campaign mode to your Marvel United game, which I'm all for. Should you make it to the end, you'll take the fight directly to Thanos, empowered by the stones collected in his Infinity Gauntlet. The heroes will need to unite and make the best use of their power-ups if they are to save the universe. Again, not reading a rulebook. I'll read a paragraph on camera. That seems legit. But a rulebook, that seems like too much work. We have these locations. Why do we have the Wakanda? Oh, because they were in Infinity. That makes sense. The Wakanda Fields were in the movie. We have a whole bunch of locations up here. The Wakanda Fields. We have the Sanctuary. As you can see, I've gotten bored of reading the abilities. We have Thanos' Palace. The Quantum Tunnel. No idea what that is. We have Titan. They should have won that battle. Honestly, if it wasn't for Star-Lord not being able to keep... I mean, I get it, but Star-Lord should have been a little more control. We have the Avengers Mansion. We have Hala. What's Hala? Is it Hala? Hala? I don't know what Hala is. My Marvel things. We have Nidavellir. Nidavellir is an excellent game. You should play Nidavellir. Also, you can play this game, which has Nidavellir. Sanctum Sanctorum. We have Asgard. We have Vormia. Oh, Vormia. That's sad. That's sad. Black Widow. It's gone. New York. Wakanda Fields. I'm back there. You know who I'm looking forward to, by the way. I'm looking forward to... what's her name? Wanda and Vision in this box. They weren't anyone's favorite characters a while ago, but now they're everyone's favorite characters. That's what Marvel does, okay? They sit there and they put out this game, this video, TV show. I can't think of my words. They put out this TV show with these characters that everyone's complaining about it, and now they're everyone's favorite characters. Marvel's pretty good. They deserve our trust. I haven't started the Falcon and the Winter Soldier yet. I plan on it. I don't expect it to be as good as WandaVision, just because WandaVision is excellent. But here's what we do have. Okay, we have this expansion thing with these gems. Ha 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 ha. Okay, that is just a level of insanity that goes into your game. Okay, this is just completely unnecessary degrees of plastic. And when I say unnecessary, I mean thank you. Come on, faith restored. Give me something like this in Marvel United X-Men, and we can talk. Okay, now I can't snap my fingers because this is a plastic little glove, but this is fun. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this back now. And I'm going to dump these over there and not worry about the exact placement of it because I don't care enough. But we do have Thanos. Let's take a look at Thanos. Thanos up here, if you'll focus, you take that box away. It focuses better when you don't have the background. Thanos is cool. I like Thanos. He's speaking of sympathetic villains. This is the problem with DC versus Marvel. Thanos is someone I can identify with Thanos. I mean, agree or not, he was ultimately just trying to like create, you know, enough resources that the galaxy can sustain itself, which lends itself to the question that everyone asks, which is just snap your fingers and double the resources. But it's actually not that clear. It still is that clear, but it's not that clear. Because if you half the population, just the way population growth works and exponential and whatnot, having the population will actually buy you a lot more time than doubling the resources. That's just the way it works. But, and this is the part where it gets confusing, while that's true, if you can snap your fingers and do anything you want, you can also infinity the resources. It's called the Infinity Stone for a reason, okay? Just infinity the resources. And just snap your fingers every single time you need it to happen. Ultimately, Thanos was someone who I can identify with him to a degree, but ultimately he was someone who used a moral, good-sounding excuse to do horrific things. So I'm okay with him dying. It was fine. It was a little anticlimactic the way he died. I mean, we had this whole situation going on where he just kind of just died at the end. They're like, the whole movie's set up. I'm really spoiling these things for people who haven't watched this, but this whole movie's set up. Everyone's all ready to go, and then 20 minutes into the movie, into Endgame, you have Thanos is dead, and everyone's like, okay, I heard this was a 3-hour-long movie. They could have just tacked that on to the end of Infinity War. They could have. And they managed to make a whole entire movie out of it. Which, by the way, for myself, I far prefer Infinity War. I was fine with Endgame, but I never liked time travel. Time travel in anything I don't like. Enter the Spider-Verse. This is where we get the Spider-Verse situation. This is where we get this weird hybrid of the Spider-Verse movie with all the weird crossovers there. I guess technically it's a Spider-Verse universe, but I'm not a fan of some of the characters in here. I'm not against them, I'm just not a fan. Welcome to the Spider-Verse. This expansion has 4 new web-slinging heroes, a mad villain, new locations, and a new secret identity challenge. These can either be used in isolation to create a legitimate New Yorker experience, or mixed with other heroes, villains, locations, and challenges from the core box and other expansions to create infinite different play experiences. Now the question is, when you say legitimate New Yorker experience, I don't know how many of my viewers are from New York, so I don't know just how far to take this insulting degree of whatever. Like, oh, is there, you know, smelly cheese in this box? Is there a lack of parking in this box? I don't know how far to take this. I'm probably going to get some dislikes. It's okay. It's okay. It's the way it works is New York likes to hate on the rest of the world, and the rest of the world likes to hate on New York. Then again, that works for America too in a larger system. This is, I don't know why I talk. I don't know why. It's much safer if I just read. Brooklyn Bridge. I'm not safer if I read. Daily Bugle. Osborne Laboratories. Oscorp Tower. Queens. Midtown High School. Brooklyn Bridge again. I just always keep going around in a circle there. We have Green Goblin. Green Goblin has gotten twice they tried making Green Goblin, and neither time was he particularly engaging. Although I do like Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe is actually a phenomenal actor. And we're going to go ahead and do this situation here. We're going to show you the Green Goblin up here. Okay. So the nice part of looking at my camera like that is I get to a good reminder that yes, indeed, it is still recording, because I lost a video last week. We have some of these spider characters on their wall. And like, by the way, Kaman has really stepped up their game as far as their sculpts. Like, they have gone from flat sculpts to non-flat sculpts, which is not the most descriptive words I can use. But, I mean, the really solid job on their sculpts actually having texture or rubble or different things. It's just more engaging. Now, I'd rather heroes that actually felt like they mattered, but you can't have everything. So I'll take what I can get. You get what you get, and you don't get upset. That's what my kids say all the time. It's so true. Okay, and then we have this weird pig spider character, which for many people is amazing. For many people, it's excellent fan service. For myself, I can't get behind it. I just can't. It's weird. You have a pig, a Spider-Man. It's so bizarre. I get that it's a thing. Doesn't mean it should be a thing. But then again, Marvel has always had some weird storylines. Like, there's some weird storylines. Remember the time, like, Peter Parker, like, sold his soul to the devil so that other people would forget his identity. Like, they revealed his identity. In the comics, this happened as a storyline. They revealed his identity, and then he sold his soul to the devil so that everyone forget his identity. That's not a typical Marvel storyline. That's weird, right? It's bizarre, and yet it's a thing. But we have all kinds of things. Like, I'm curious what they're doing. They have Doctor Strange, the next Doctor Strange movie. Doctor Strange, by the way, my favorite, or one of my favorite Marvel characters. My favorite Marvel character is probably in this box with Loki, so we'll see that over here. By the way, if you haven't played Blood Rage, play Blood Rage, play the Loki strategy. It's a lot of fun, although Loki strategy is not overpowered if other people know what to do about it. Tales of Asgard. Welcome to Asgard. This expansion does not contain Matt Damon. This expansion has 4 new legendary heroes, a mischievous villain, new locations, and a new trader challenge. These can be either there's no space between the trader and challenge. It's trader challenge. It's one word. They're little trademark. These can either be used in isolation to create a pure Asgardian experience or mixed with other heroes, villains, locations, and challenges from the core box and other expansions to create infinite different play experiences. It is amazing to me. And I'm not saying this critically. I'm saying this like, I understand the process of creation. I do create and I understand the process involved. It's amazing to me how every game has like a typo. Every game has something. Like, that's a space. Like, why was that not caught? I'm asking the question, but I'm totally fine with the fact that it wasn't caught. There will always be mistakes. It is the nature of the way things work. There's only so many times you can go through something. There's only so many processes. There's always going to be gaps. There's human error in every step of the way. And then we have Loki. Now, Loki's not human error. Loki is the best Marvel superhero who sadly died. I mean, he's not really a superhero, so to speak, but he's a super something, right? But he's amazing. Everyone loves Loki. Again, speaking of, wow, I'm realizing the more I talk, there's a long, troubled history of characters in any universe where they just didn't get enough attention as a child. Loki, seriously, his entire thing is not getting enough attention as a child. And honestly, again, if you watch Thor, and there's two characters in Thor, right? There's two brothers. There's Thor, and then there's Loki. One of them is the brute, the Hulk, the tons of muscle, working it out, always gets daddy's and mommy's attention, whatever it is. And one of them is neglected and skinny and alone. Which one of them do you think you resonate more with? Thor's an a-hole. Nothing personal. I like Thor, by the way. I do. But Thor is a bit of a... He is not... This is another reminder. Your kids should not be watching this show, apparently. But Thor is definitely... Whoop, there we go. Look at that. That's there. I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day... And by the way, this is the best character over here. This is Grunk, or Crunk, or whatever his name is. I was so happy when they added him to the expansion. But yeah, look, Thor's actually funny, by the way. Thor Ragnarok, possibly my favorite Marvel movie. Very possibly my favorite Marvel movie. But Loki is just so much... Loki's the best. Loki was in Thor Ragnarok, so that's, part of the reason there. Then we have all of that. And then we have these locations over here. Let's go through the locations, because we may as well. Loki! Now, by the way, Loki is the only expansion I have actually played with, because I got to play this online with Quackalo. So I got to play this expansion as the trader. I was Loki. I beat Eric Lang at his own game. It was tremendously satisfying for me. We have Heimdall's Observatory, Odin's Vault, Bifrost Bridge, Asgardian Palace, Throne Room, and Valhalla. If one of these things lets you draw until you have 3 cards, I'm going to have a hissy fit. Nope, we're all good. No drawing until you have 3 cards, repetition. Okay, that's going to be all that. That's going to be the expansion there. By the way, this expansion with the hidden trader aspect really adds a lot to the game. It was, again, it's still a light, simple game, but it still manages to be more entertaining. Plus, it has Loki, and you can never get rid of any game that has Loki in it. That's part of the rules. You just can't do so. So Marvel Champions, here to stay. Marvel United here to stay. I don't know if Marvel Champions has Loki. I can't remember. I can't remember if I have Loki. I think I have Loki as a character in my Thor deck. I don't know why they gave me a Thor deck and not a Loki deck. I want the Loki deck. I want to play Loki. Okay. And then we have the Giant Box. But before we go into the Giant Box is just tons of ridiculous amounts of characters, no gameplay. Let's go ahead and go through some of these extras off to the side. So these are going to be, in case you want to get them when you get Marvel United. I don't know what... When you get Marvel United, X-Men comes to Kickstarter on April 14th. I don't know exactly what they will or won't have from the original Kickstarter. But these are definitely something you want. Not that they fit into the box the way they are done. But these are going to be just tons of heavy cardboard versions of those locations. So if you don't like the flimsy plastic, and you just want something with a little more heft, this much heft to be more specific, well, that's going to be helpful there. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put that back in the box, because I've already gone through all these, and that was completely uninteresting. It was just to show you the degree of heft that you have. Ugh. And apparently tokens. There's some tokens there too. Are there tokens? There's tokens. You see, these are token sheets. I don't know if there's more tokens. There might be more tokens, but there's definitely something going on over there. And that's going to be that situation over there. Then we have 2 characters off to the side that apparently didn't make their way into the boxes. I don't know why. One of them is Adam Warlock, who I don't care about at all because he hasn't been made into a movie yet. Although technically he did make an appearance in the second Guardians of the Galaxy. I want to say the second Guardians of the Galaxy. So I think he was made a slight appearance, in end credits situation. Always watch the end credits. Except unless they are, WandaVision, where they proceed to give you 15 minutes of end credits on every 2-minute TV show. So we have Adam Warlock with his deck of cards, however many cards there are. Let's actually find out how many cards there are. Let's do that now. But that's Adam Warlock. And speaking of cards, let's go ahead and find out, because I told you I would do that. Although I'm wary of hitting, this knife is going to find a puncture spot on these cards. Let's see, there we go. Okay, just making sure I got that. Don't worry, the knife at no point is actually pointing towards me in the wrong way. And then we go here. So how many cards do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cards. And this is the way the cards work in this game. So we have a variety. It's going to be 12 cards, of which I think 10 of them or 9 of them are going to be basic symbols on them. And then we're going to have some of them have abilities. So there we go. So 9 without abilities, 3 of them with abilities, and those abilities have the different configuration of symbols. Like Adam Warlock actually has a decent amount of wilds, it looks like. But you have all these different abilities that define their experience as being different. It's not enough for me. It really genuinely isn't. Meaning, again, I'll take it. I'll take what I can get. But as far as my level of satisfaction with the variety these heroes give you, I wanted more from this game. So like the game. Just wanted my heroes to feel... I want to feel like I'm playing Iron Man. I want to feel like I'm playing Yondu. Where's that card that says, like, you know, I don't know, do 1 damage... Ooh, I'm going to look at Yondu's deck too. Because if Yondu doesn't have a card that says take out 1 henchman in the entire circle, that is a waste of Yondu. Yondu should have an ability card that does it. In fact, if Yondu's ability card does do that, I will stop complaining about this situation with the hero variation, at least in this video. I make no promises for the future. So first of all, here's Yondu. If I can get him to focus, there we go. Yondu is the best. Yondu is awesome. I mean, Yondu. You see, Yondu's a good example of someone here. That's what happens when you take someone who has abandoned father issues and you introduce a new father figure. Yondu was that person for Star-Lord. So Star-Lord could have been an evil megalomaniac villain if he would have had no father, parental attention, or whatnot. But instead, he was kidnapped by a kidnapper who proceeded to give him attention. And isn't that called Stockholm Syndrome? Marvel's very troubling. Very troubling space. Not entirely sure what the lesson or takeaway is here. In fact, I was watching, if you haven't watched pitch meetings, then first of all, subscribe to pitch meetings. I guarantee you, you will not regret it. I shouldn't say I guarantee you, but I guarantee you, you will not regret it. But in the pitch meetings, they had this situation with Doctor Strange. Like, oh, Doctor Strange is driving along and, you know, he gets a call and he goes off a bridge. And they're like, oh, that's a great life lesson. What's the life lesson? Well, if you know, go off a bridge and pay attention to your cell phone while texting, while driving, then you will, what's it called? You will turn into an awesome superhero. It's not a great life lesson. I think we did it. Yaka Arrow Whirlwind. Starting from your location and going clockwise, defeat 1 villain at each location. Only stop when there are no villains in the next location. Fine. You win, come on. Okay? That feels like Yondu. I haven't even read the rest of the cards. I don't care. Fine. Okay. You get it. I'm okay with it. That just made sense to me. You have this game. It made sense. I was like, I want to feel like I'm playing Yondu. That would make me feel like I'm playing Yondu. I have to officially stop giving you a hard time. So, that's it. That's it. Okay, cool. Now we can go through the entire next box of cards without me complaining about the heroes feeling different. Done. You win. Well played. Okay. I already took the string off that. I can ignore my knife. So, let's turn this around. This is going to be the stretch goal box for Marvel United. This contains all the stretch goals in their beautiful Come brown box with all the various cards and everything else that they have. Tons of cards from anything from today to tomorrow. We have Miss Marvel. We have, we have Hela. Oh my gosh. We have Venom. Tons of cards. I'm not going to go through those because that would take an undue amount of time. But I will, of course, go through the heroes of Marvel United with 3 delectable trays full of heroes. 3 delectable trays and villains. 3 delectable trays full of heroes and villains. I don't even know the best way to show this to you because I'm not going through each one of these one at a time. Why don't we start with this? So, this is going to be tray number 1. I'll pick highlights out. But this over here is tray number 1. And we have, let's pick my favorite villain here. So first of all, not favorite's a tough word. We have Rhino. I like Rhino. He's always been a fun character. Didn't really get a proper development. He was played by, what's his name? Paul Giamatti, I think. He was played by someone. I think Paul Giamatti. I think that's his name, but I could be blanking the name. We have, I don't even know who this character is. We have Venom, obviously. We have 2 Venoms. We have Venom and Carnage. We have Hela. Hela from the 3rd, what's it called, Thor movie. She was definitely, I mean, she's like someone else. Like, that's a character. That's a villain I want to fight against. Then we have all kinds of people. So let's start with our favorite, because I told you I would. We have Vision. I mean, Wanda. Wanda. Definitely not Vision. Okay, Wanda, who now everyone loves and adores because it's Wanda. WandaVision, again, absolutely excellent. And then we have Vision. 2 of them together. Look at them, adorable little couple. I should hold them up together. Every single game that has Wanda, it's a new rule in my house, every single game that has one has to have the other. Because it's Wanda and Vision. They're like the new, I don't know what kind of weird, hopeless romantic situation we have. Again, the issues here. Girl who grew up without a father. Robot invented from whatever. There's no one who is mentally sound in this universe. This is all a whole lot of trauma just waiting to happen. We have Squirrel Girl. I can't say this. Squirrel Girl. That works. Okay, cool. Yeah, she's a girl who's a squirrel. That's basically about as creative or interesting as you thought it would get. Now, if you follow the Marvel campaign way back in the day, way back's a relative term. I want to say March of 2019, March of 2020. That sounds about right. March of 2020 sounds about right. She was requested by like everyone. Everyone requested her. We have Doctor Strange. Now, this one doesn't actually look like Benedict Cumberbatch, so I wasn't actually as impressed by Doctor Strange because, to me, Doctor Strange is best as Benedict Cumberbatch. Like, I mean, Benedict Cumberbatch is one of my favorite actors. Best part of, I don't know, anything he's in. We have Falcon. Ignore the scratching table over there. That's going to be from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We already had the Winter Soldier in the other box. We have Nick Fury. We have Hawkeye. We have some sort of surfing person. Oh, that's Quick Fury. Oh, so he's also in WandaVision. We can bring him. He'll be the weird third character who's technically dead. Spoilers. Shh. I mean, I guess if you watch WandaVision, you know he's dead because you watch the other things. That's not a spoiler. But it's a spoiler that he's in WandaVision. I have nothing I can do here. Okay, we have only 2 trays. I thought there were 3. Only 2 trays. We got Howard the Duck. Oh, nice of them. I love it when Kaman does this. Okay. So, we can throw this out. Kaman basically... See, I don't like these small plastic boxes. But what you can do with them, if you can get your card out, my Yondu card that I forever forgive Marvel for anything they do now. This one should go over here if I'm not mistaken. Yep, there we go. And then these can go in the box. And this can go into the pile of plastic garbage on the floor. We have Adam Warlock, who will have the same situation. Don't ask me why I can't open these boxes normally anymore. It's because I know they're garbage, so I don't really care. And Adam Warlock's going to go over here. So Marvel, Kaman has been doing a good job of slowly giving you those extra spaces so you can both have the special stretch goals that came separately, but then store them well. So this is like, I mean, let's just go ahead and show you the whole tray. Yeah, let's angle it. Okay. And let's just move my hand from the back so you don't see that in the back. And these are going to be all these stretch goals. Now let's go through ones that we particularly like. So we have Adam Warlock. We have Shang-Chi, something like that. I don't know. This is going to be one of the new Marvel superheroes in Phase 4. Of course, the whole timeline of Phase 4 is off. But this is going to be played by a character whose name I can't remember, who's from a show called Kim's Convenience, which is amazing. You should watch Kim's Convenience. Sadly, ending a season early, but it's a great show. We have the Punisher, who is obviously the Punisher with his giant Punisher kind of rocket cannon situation, because if you're going to punish somebody, then a mere gun is not nearly enough punishment. We have the Black Cat, whatever it is. I can't remember her name. We have Venom 2. Oh, Venom as a hero. That's right. Oh, do we have Loki here? Tell me we have Loki. We don't have Loki, do we? It doesn't look like we have Loki. See, I remember they gave you Venom as a hero, so you can play Venom as both a hero or a villain. So it's basically the same exact sculpt, but in blue, so you can play it both ways. I thought they gave you it as a Loki 2, but I guess not. We have whatever his name is. We have Blade. Blade is also going to be a movie, played by a character who I really like, but can't remember his name, from something Ali, I think. Masa Ali. I can't remember his name. We have, this looks like the skull person with the flaming red skull. I can't remember his name. I'm really bad with the name situation. It's all good. I say it's all good. I'm just giving myself a pass because it's easier. And then we have Drax. Drax. He's so literal. I love Drax. He's like, that went right over my head. That went right over your head. Nothing goes over my head. I'm too fast. My reflexes will catch it. We have Howard the Duck, which is bizarre, but part of the Marvel Universe somehow. And we actually see that in the movies. They managed to do it like decently by having it as part of the collectors. And then we have, her, I love her. She's from Doctor Who, but she's also in Marvel. Can't remember her name. She's the other daughter. The 2 daughters of Thanos. Daughter of Thanos, I have come to kill you. Something, come to kill you. I will kill you. I will destroy you. But that is going to be my unboxing and a little bit of craziness. Definitely PG-13. Marvel United unboxing. Again, no clue what's going on here. I'm just unpacking these all and figuring it out. I'm going to start introducing these one at a time. I'm going to figure out what I want to... Ignore the loud noise. Let's just ignore this noise. Just bear with me. There we go. I'm going to be playing with these one at a time, going through the characters. Maybe they will all actually surprise me. Yondu really surprised me. I was literally just sitting there looking at Yondu, and I was like, you know what? What would make it feel like I'm playing Yondu? And I came up with an ability, and I put it on a card, and they have that ability. Now, I'm still upset there's only 3 cards, but I'm not going to say I'm upset because I'm not allowed to complain, so technically it's not complaining if I say I'm not complaining. But that's going to be my unboxing of Marvel United, all the content, all the stuff. This is going to be absolutely everything. I will probably be getting more stuff from the Marvel United X-Men because it depends. I have to play this a bit before. Because if I don't love the game, then do I really need twice as much content? Because, I mean, how much time would it take me to actually go through this? But then again, these things do hold their value. The amount of extras you got here, I can easily resell this for what I paid for. In the meantime, my kids can play with it, which means it's a win for them. It's a win for me. Rising Sun, which I just got rid of, was a game that I kept for 3 years. My kids played with it the entire time. And when I get rid of it, I'm going to be able to get everything I paid for it and then some. So it's not a loss in a typical sense. I don't mind going through these Kickstarter journeys. That's why my channel is always the way it is. That's why I always talk about the value and backing things that hold the value. Because I don't mind the process of holding on something, enjoying the backing, enjoying the getting, enjoying the updates, enjoying the unboxing, the miniatures. My kids can enjoy it, I enjoy it, and then I move on from it. And I'm on to the next board game. Because there's always another board game. It doesn't stop. It's not stopping anytime soon. Enjoy this video. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this video. You made it to the end, so if you didn't enjoy it, I don't know what kind of sadist you are. Maybe your father didn't pay enough attention to you as a child. I don't know what I'm doing here. Until next time, I'm Alex Ragel from Board Game Co. I hope you have a good one.